Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time of year again. What, do you think I was going to forget about Red Ribbon Reviewers? Not by a long shot. I love doing this thing, even if I just started doing it last year. Despite my current situation, I can still do this. So, yeah, I'll provide another update on my current situation in another update. But for now, let's just enjoy a review from Red Ribbon Reviewers, symbolizing HIV and AIDS awareness. And what better way to do it than keep reviewing winter games? So in keeping with that tradition, here's a review of SSX Tricky for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube. Enjoy! I never played the original SSX. I started with Tricky, and I think it was definitely a good introduction. SSX Tricky picks up where the first SSX left off. It adds 2 new tracks, 6 new characters, remixes the tracks that were brought back from the original SSX, and it improves just about every aspect of the original SSX. There are 3 modes of play in SSX Tricky. A single race mode where you race on any unlocked course, a practice mode to free ride on any course unlocked and practice tricks, and the World Circuit mode where you go through every single course in an attempt to win a gold medal on all of them. You'll need to play the World Circuit mode in order to unlock the other riders and tracks as well as specific boards. When you start the game, only 4 riders will be available to select. The other 8 must be unlocked by getting gold medals. After picking your rider, choose a username, select your character's outfit and board, and then you're off. After that, you can select one of 2 events, race or show off. Race is pretty much what it sounds like, while show off requires that you perform as many tricks as possible to get the most points to win. After you pick your event, you pick your track, and then bring it on. The gameplay itself is a standard point A to point B race on snowboards. As you ride down each course in-game, you'll find plenty of ramps, rails, jumps, and other objects. By performing tricks, you fill up your boost meter. New to this game is when your boost meter gets at max boost, you can perform Uber tricks. Land 6 Uber tricks successfully, which spell out the word tricky by the way, you get infinite boost for the remainder of the race. You'll need enough space to perform tricks though, especially Uber tricks. Thankfully you can pre-wind your jumps, which helps. And while the jump button does work most of the time, sometimes the jump button won't work when let go of, it'll be delayed and you won't get enough air to perform an Uber trick, and if you try to do it, you'll crash. Despite this, the controls still work well. The game uses the same controls as the previous game. Not surprising because they work. The controls make tricks performing easier, at least for the PS2 version, where you use all the shoulder buttons to perform the tricks, and you can use them in various combinations as well. Unfortunately for the GameCube and Xbox versions, the controls had to be modified because those consoles' controllers do not have 4 shoulder buttons. It's not that big of a problem because you can get used to it very easily, but it does kind of suck because the PS2 version is so good with the controls. To keep the gameplay more intense and nail-biting, there's an aggression system where certain characters will interact differently. You can tell from the interactions before matches. It also tells you before and after each race. The more aggressive a rival will be toward you, the more they'll want to knock you down. And try not to make enemies of the characters who are neutral towards your character. The aggression system is cool because it makes you more careful of who you hit, because that aggression carries out throughout the World Circuit mode, so you always have to watch your back. The interactions between the characters before, during, and after races are all handled well and help bring this game to life. It helps that the game has very good voice acting, most of which was done by many celebrities who actually do a good job. These include the likes of David Arquette, Lucy Liu, Macy Gray, Billy Zane, and several other notable celebrities. The game is also further brought to life by well-designed tracks and excellent-looking graphics. The tracks have design that make them look cool to look at, yet challenging to master at the same time. The graphics are also good. Bright colors that stand out, especially on the boards and outfits. The models also look pretty good, and no jaggings on any of them is a plus. Finally, the game's soundtrack is good. It's catchy, upbeat, and you might get some of the songs stuck in your head. The game also has multiplayer, which is always a plus, and because of how intense the gameplay can be, you and your friends are going to be competing like crazy to win. SSX Tricky is a very solid snowboarding game. Excellent graphics, well done tracks with excellent designs, good music, well done controls, crazy over the top tricks, well designed characters with good voice acting and unique interaction, and it still keeps what made the original SSX good. However, the amount of time it can take to do a 360 and turning in general can be slow if you don't pre-wind your jumps. The jump button can occasionally misfire, the amount of time it can take to unlock everything can be tedious, and having to modify the controls for the non-PS2 versions was a pain because it's less simple for performing tricks. Still, regardless of which platform you buy SSX Tricky for, I can guarantee one thing. You're gonna get a badass snowboarding game that will keep you coming back for more. I give SSX Tricky a 4.5 out of 5.